Hi, welcome to Miss Music, or welcome back to Miss Music. The Revenge of Alice Cooper sees Alice reunite with the surviving members of his original band. That's Michael Bruce, Dennis Dunaway, and Neal Smith. Lead guitarist Glenn Buxton died in 1997, unfortunately. The new album is also produced by Bob Ezrin. So it has all the components for a classic Alice Cooper album, but does it deliver? The original band is responsible, in my opinion anyway, for some iconic and musically influential albums such as Killer, School's Out, and the brilliant $1 Billion Babies. But can we really expect a band with an average age of 77 to still be any good? Click the like button or subscribe and let us know what you think about this album in the comments below. Do you think it is any good? Does this album contain some of the classic elements that we've come to associate with Alice Cooper? Well, let's think. Snakes, yep, check, they're there. Serial killers, yep, check. Crazy drug and drink fueled excess, yes, check, that's there. Insanity, yes, of course, that's there. Some 1940s pizzazz, yes, check, that's there. Necrophilia, well, no, there's no necrophilia, I think, on this album as far as I can tell. I guess some things from the 70s just do not translate to the climate we live in today. Before making this video, I was trying to figure out what it is about a particular piece of music that makes me really like it. I'm still working my way through this process, but I will make my judgment on this album based on three factors that I identified when I was thinking about music. The first is coherence. Does the album feel like it is capturing a moment? Has it got a theme? Do the tracks fit well together? So yes, there is a definite vibe to this album, and it also reflects the mix of styles that we kind of became accustomed to on those earlier albums. If you have only listened to more recently released albums, you might be forgiven for thinking that Alice Cooper is a rock act, but on those past recordings, you get a mix of heavy rock, of blues, that kind of 50s rockabilly sound, ballads, old-timey swing, and much, much more. And these are all present on The Revenge of Alice Cooper, and that's fantastic. I was, when I started listening to this album, hoping for more of a storyline to it, the kind you find on Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, From the Inside, or Along Came a Spider. The first track, Black Mamba, calls back to the track Black Widow, and it kind of sets you up for that storyline idea, but it's not the case. You do still get the dark side of Alice Cooper with tracks like Black Mamba, Kill the Flies, and One Night Stand. But the album does a lot more besides. The sound on this album is great. It recreates that feel of early 70s Alice Cooper without, I think, becoming a parody of itself. So my next point is, does this album feel fresh, or is it just simply an artist falling back on old tropes and putting out substandard tracks? So I think, surprisingly, for an album that really is all about nostalgia, Revenge does feel fresh and the tracks are compelling. Listening to the album for the first time, I was like consciously thinking about how I might review it. But, you know, by the third track, that all went from my mind. This video just disappeared. And I just sat back and enjoyed the whole album. I really did enjoy listening to it. Is everything here great? Well, no. There are a couple of tracks I think I would have cut if I had control over this album. For example, Famous Face tells us nothing new about the cult of celebrity. And Money Talks, I think, is a dull take on those who have way too much money. Put these two tracks together and you've really got, you know, $1 Billion Babies and Generation Landslide, which explore the same themes, but with much more anger and menace and creativity, I think. My final point then, point of judgment, if you like, is how the album made me feel. And to be honest, I loved it. I wasn't expecting to, but I really did. The tracks all sound great. I'm not sure if Alice's voice is being slightly digitally enhanced here. His voice sounds younger, I think, than usual and smoother, but his vocals still hit the spot. There's a menace to his voice, there's that growl, and as always, he channels when necessary the ghost of Elvis. The band sound great. It's a shame that Buxton is no longer with us. And I presume the track See You on the Other Side is a tribute to him. The songwriting is tight and is packed full of humor. Up All Night pokes fun of men who think they're God's gift to women, and Crap Gets in the Way sees a 60-year-old failed guitar hero wannabe wonder whether he should write another appalling rock track or bury the dead body of his wife, which has been festering in their bedroom for some time. I mean, these are tracks that made me laugh, as Alice Cooper always does. You really do get everything and a bit more on this album. And it makes it an enjoyable listen, something I really was not expecting. I've listened, I think, to the album in total, track 1 to the end track, 6 times, I think, now. And whilst I don't think it's going to be something that I will, in years to come back to and listen to, it has just been keeping me happy and keeping me engaged for the last couple of weeks. Marks out of 10, I would say this is a solid 7. What do you think? Did you enjoy the album? If you were there at the beginning, if you lived through this era of Killers, etc., does it match up to those albums? I think it's better than a lot of the things he's done quite recently. What do you think?